I have the distinct pleasure now of introducing our Commander-in-Chief and someone who is known everywhere as America's most famous Irishman, President Joe Biden.
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you. Well, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I was telling the Speaker at dinner when a good friend of mine, and many of you, a former senator from Oregon, Senator Smith, came to me when I was Vice President and said, you know, I've checked it out, you're able to accept this gift. I said, what's the gift? He said, well, the single most significant compilation of historical records and family records are held by the Mormon Church. And he said, we want to do a background for you. We want to check your genealogy for you. And they ended up showing up 5 months later with 6 volumes. And one of them pointed out that on one side of the family, the ones that came from County Louth, they started off in New Orleans. And I've warned them, it could have stayed. I would have been in a bit of trouble. Folks, look, Mr. Speaker, and I want you to know that diplomat Shane Leslie once wrote, every St. Patrick's Day, every Irishman goes out to find another Irishman to make a speech to. So thank you for allowing me to find you. Mom, it's okay. Look, you know, I'm glad I found all of you because no matter how much we debate, no matter how much we disagree, we always have been able to come together as Friends of Ireland. And, you know, the friendship goes back centuries. But today is an important period, an important milestone. Nearly 100 years of diplomatic relations, Taoiseach, and every 100 years of Ireland and the United States. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you for hosting us today. It's a tradition I've always enjoyed. And, Taoiseach, thank you for joining us again. You know, I also like to extend the 100,000 welcomes to all the leaders who are involved in the Ireland and Northern Ireland agreement that they've now put it together. And I think, I just wonder whether my mother would have ever thought that would happen. But it's happened, and it's great. You know, it's great to come together once again. To all Irish Americans, Democrats and Republican members here, I'm glad to be united on this issue, and we begin the next century of a real partnership. It's been a partnership that is really increasing now. And finally, to all they wish they're Irish, I'm glad you're here too. My grandfather used to say that being Irish is enough. At any rate, I won't go into that. But I stand here as a proud descendant of the Finnegans and the Blewitts, the Finnegans from County Mayo, which I just was there not long ago, and the Finnegans from County Louth. And this pride is part of my soul. I'm sure that all of you who are Irish ancestors feel the same way. In fact, as many of you know, when I served in Capitol Hill, my colleagues used to kid me because I was quoting Irish poets. They thought I quoted Irish poets, Rev, because I was Irish. I don't do it for that reason, because they're the best poets in the world. That's why I quote them. Stenny, it's true. And, you know, I really, today, there's one poem in particular that comes to mind. It was written by my great-grandfather, Edward Francis Blewett, who was only the second Catholic elected to the state senate in the state of Pennsylvania back in 1906. And he wrote a book of poems, 100 poems, and about his, he referred to as his Ireland. One he called The Worker, and here's what it said. No barrier is too thick or strong to stay the onward march each day. A goal they seek, a goal they find. Hardship for them is but real play. And I think together, Ireland and America are always marching forward toward a better world, toward a better life. And one of greater liberty, greater dignity, and greater equity, opportunity, and possibilities for everybody, possibilities. I was with Xi Jinping a couple years ago on the Tibetan Plateau, and he asked me, could I define America? And I said, this is recorded by him as well, I said, yes, in one word. He said, what's that? I said, possibilities. Think about it. What defines us as Americans? We think anything is possible. Anything is possible. We do it together. Well, together, Ireland and America have always moved onward for a better future. One of greater liberty, greater dignity, greater equality, opportunity, and possibility. And even when those barriers seem so thick and so strong, even when we face sorrow, setbacks, and divisions, and darkness, together we've always persevered, Ireland and the United States. We've always held out hope and horizons that we've not yet seen. You know, I often say that the Irish are the only people in the world who are nostalgic about tomorrow. Think about it. That's an original quote, unfortunately. But that seems who we are. And I often say that because wherever there's a yearning for freedom, wherever there is a call for progress, people around the world, they can always count on Ireland and the United States to be on their side, not just for hope, but to help them on their march forward. We see this in our support of Ukraine and the people in the face of Putin's vicious onslaught against Ukraine. Taoiseach, we had a meeting earlier today. I told you that I'm deeply grateful for Ireland's unwavering humanitarian aid to the people of not only Ukraine, but also Gaza. I'm committed to continue to do our part. I'm confident the vast majority, and excuse me for saying this, but I think a vast majority of members of Congress are willing to do their part and to continue to urge every member in this room to stand up to Vladimir Putin. He's a thug. He's a thug. And I urge you to send me the National Security Bill now. The bill includes funding for Ukraine and Israel, and maybe equally important, humanitarian assistance to Gaza. They badly, badly need it. And it sends a clear message. America stands up for freedom, and we bow down to no one in the world. You know, I said in Belfast last year, where we marked the 25th anniversary of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, I'm also committed to protecting peace and progress in Northern Ireland. We all know that we feel, I assume all of us feel the same way. That includes Northern Ireland's newest leaders, Minister O'Neill and your Deputy First Minister is here. Are you guys here? Stand up. Thank you. As a friend of mine from Claymont, Delaware would say, who would have thunk it? Thankfully, you're here. And look, to both of you, thank you for reminding us what possibilities there are as we work across the aisle and rise above long-standing disagreements. Let me close with this. I think we stand at an inflection point, not only in American history, but in world history, where the decisions we make now are going to determine what the next 3, 4, 5, 6 decades are going to look like. And I believe history's watching. I think history is watching. Today, let us resolve the march forward with each other and all those who seek a better future. Like our ancestors, remember, no barrier is too thick or too strong for Ireland and the United States to get through. There's nothing our nations can't do together when we work together. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm confident there's not a thing we can't do if we work together. And I say the same thing. Remember, this is the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity when we work together. So my prayer today is we continue, we increase our working together. Thank you all for having me.